Today's episode is a little different. Instead of analyzing the future of artificial intelligence, I decided to let it run my life for 24 hours. Every decision, every task, every email, every meal, all chosen by AI. ChatGPT handled planning. Google Gemini handled research. Microsoft Copilot wrote my emails. And TikTok's algorithm decided how I spent my free time. What could possibly go wrong? This is the weekend edition of the AI Desk. Let's see what happened. This episode is brought to you by Mad Cheetah and their new album WTF, Where is the Forest? It's eco-pop engineered for the future. Bold beats, global rhythms, and a message that actually matters. If you want music that hits your brain and your heart, explore WTF by Mad Cheetah. That's MADCHITA. Streaming now on all major platforms. The morning. AI plans my day. At 7 a.m., I asked AI a simple question. What should my ideal day look like? The answer was ambitious. According to the AI, I should start the morning with a cold shower, followed by a 20-minute meditation session. Then write 3 pages of journaling. Then work out for 45 minutes. Then eat a protein-optimized breakfast. Now, this all sounded very impressive, but the AI had apparently built this schedule for someone who has their life together, not someone who had coffee at midnight. Still, rules are rules. So I took the cold shower, which lasted approximately 3 seconds. AI chooses my food. Next task, breakfast. I asked AI to design the optimal breakfast for productivity. The answer was extremely specific. Oatmeal, blueberries, Greek yogurt, chia seeds, almond butter, flaxseed, cinnamon. At this point, the breakfast bowl looked less like food and more like a science experiment. But I ate it, because AI said it would maximize cognitive performance, which is exactly what you want to hear from breakfast. Next challenge, email. I asked Microsoft Copilot to write replies to several emails. The results were impressive, but also slightly terrifying. For example, someone emailed asking if I had time for a short call. Copilot generated a response that sounded like it came from a corporate diplomat. It included phrases like, "I appreciate the opportunity to connect and would welcome the chance to explore this further," which is a very polite way of saying, "Sure, we can talk." My one-sentence email had somehow turned into a 3-paragraph professional statement. Next, I asked AI how to structure my workday. The recommendation? Use something called the Deep Work Productivity Block System. This meant 90 minutes of focused work, followed by a 15-minute break, which sounded great, until I realized something. My 15-minute break involved opening TikTok, which leads us to the next part of the experiment. I decided to let the TikTok algorithm decide what I watched, for research. At first, the content was normal. Tech videos, AI explainers, startup clips. Then, the algorithm took a turn. Suddenly, my feed included a man explaining how to build a house using shipping containers, a motivational speech about waking up at 4 a.m., a cat wearing sunglasses riding a skateboard, and a video explaining how ancient civilizations predicted artificial intelligence. At this point, I had learned 2 things. First, TikTok knows how to keep you watching. Second, the algorithm thinks my long-term goal might be to become a skateboarding cat architect. At lunchtime, I asked AI another question. What is the healthiest lunch I can eat quickly? The response? A quinoa bowl with roasted vegetables, avocado, lentils, and a lemon tahini dressing. This sounded excellent, except for one problem. The AI assumed I had all of these ingredients, which meant I had to improvise. The final meal ended up being a sandwich, which I informed the AI was a simplified version of the quinoa bowl. Next experiment. I asked AI to write a social media post announcing this episode. The first draft sounded dramatic. It said, "Today, I surrendered control of my entire life to artificial intelligence," which technically is accurate, but it made it sound like I had joined some kind of AI cult. So we toned that down slightly. At night, I asked AI to choose something to watch. It recommended a documentary about the future of technology, which is exactly what you want, after spending an entire day talking to AI systems. So instead, I asked for a comedy. The AI recommended 3 options. 2 of them involved robots. At this point, the machines had clearly decided to stay on brand. What I learned. After letting AI run my life for a day, a few things became clear. First, AI is very good at optimization. Healthy food, productivity systems, structured schedules. Second, AI assumes you are an extremely disciplined person with unlimited energy, which is flattering, but slightly unrealistic. And third, AI is best when it assists decisions, not when it makes every decision. Because sometimes, the optimal choice according to the algorithm is just a little bit ridiculous. Artificial intelligence is becoming part of everyday life, helping us write, research, plan, and organize. But as powerful as these tools are, it's still probably a good idea to keep at least a few decisions for ourselves, even if that means occasionally choosing a sandwich instead of a quinoa optimization protocol. Thanks for joining me for this weekend edition of the AI Desk, and I'll see you next week. Stay aware, stay early, and stay curious.